All right, guys, we start with an apology. I need to apologize to my millions and millions of Muslim listeners. You know, they reach out to me, they say, Howie, you're not talking about Muslims enough. And they're right. I haven't been talking about Muslims enough, and I will rectify that right now. Item from The Guardian. An Indian woman has been set on fire on her way to a court hearing to testify against two men who had allegedly raped her. The 23-year-old is in critical condition in hospital with 70% burns after she was set upon by five men in the city of Unnao in Uttar Pradesh. They dragged her to a field, doused her with petrol, and set her alight. It is the latest in a series of brutal attacks against women in India that have caused a wave of outrage across the country. Last week, a 26-year-old veterinarian doctor in Hyderabad was gang raped and then asphyxiated to death and her body burned and dumped. Days later, in the state of Bihar, a teenager was allegedly gang raped and killed before her body was set on fire. In response, thousands have taken to the streets to protest this week, demanding better protections for women. Hold on, my Muslim listeners. I'm not done. I've got more for you. You're getting more attention on my show. Item from Yahoo.com. An Indonesian man who fainted as he was being whipped for premarital sex on Thursday was revived to receive the rest of his punishment before being rushed to a hospital. Despite international condemnation, public flogging is common for a range of offenses banned under local Islamic law in the conservative Aceh region in Sumatra Island, including gambling, drinking alcohol, and having gay or premarital sex. Aceh is the only region in Indonesia, the world's biggest Muslim majority country, that imposes religious law. On Thursday, a 22-year-old man sentenced to 100 strokes pleaded with masked Sharia officers to stop lashing his back with a rattan cane before he fainted, an AFP reporter witnessed. Unquote. Folks, I don't want you to think I'm ignoring our Muslim brothers and sisters. Here are two news items that typify the greatness of their religion. Yes, that's an intentional silence. I want you to roll that around on your tongue because we live among an awful lot of people who will say, hey, one religion is just like the next. Islam is no different from Christianity and from Judaism. It's all the same. Well, I wonder if those people would feel that it's all the same after about the, 70th, maybe 75th whack with a rattan cane to their backs. You think they'd feel the same way? Or do you think their judgment, their opinion might at that point become a little more malleable? Yeah, I think so too. So ask yourself one question and then I'll move on to something else. If Muslims will do this to themselves, to each other, what will they do to you and me and our children? Item from CBS Local, Dateline, Antioch, California. Antioch police are searching for a woman who witnesses say intentionally drove her car into a barber after she was reportedly dissatisfied with the haircut he gave her son, police said Wednesday. The suspect was reportedly causing a scene outside the shop, apparently dissatisfied with the haircut her son received. The barber went outside to record her license plate number, and the woman allegedly attempted to run him over. The barber was knocked into the store's glass windows, breaking them, and sustained major leg injuries, police said. The 63-year-old was transported to a local hospital. Antioch police identified the suspect as 28-year-old Ruby Delgadillo of Brentwood. She fled the scene with her son in a blue 2006 Toyota Prius with California license plates. That must have been a hell of a bad haircut. Item from the smoking gun. Two McDonald's employees were assaulted by an irate customer who claimed that the workers botched his order, according to Utah police. Investigators say Victor Jimmy Castro placed an order last month in the McDonald's inside a Walmart supercenter in Layton, a city about 20 miles from Salt Lake, and thereafter left with his food. But Castro, 28, soon reappeared at the McDonald's, according to a probable cause affidavit. He allegedly walked behind the restaurant's counter and began throwing punches at the male employee who was struck in the face by Castro's blows. After attacking the victim, who was working the cash register, Castro continued into the restaurant's kitchen, where he allegedly punched a second worker in the face. My friends, that must have been some botch. Now, it's been a long time since I walked into a McDonald's. I don't remember anybody botching my order that badly. Item from NBC News. The San Francisco 49ers have suspended radio analyst Tim Ryan for one game following his comment that Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson has an advantage in faking handoffs because of his, quote, dark skin color with a dark football, unquote. The announcer said, quote, he's really good at that fake, Lamar Jackson, but when you consider his dark skin color with a dark football with a dark uniform, you could not see that thing, he said on San Francisco radio station KNBR's Murph and Mac show on Monday. Unquote. My friends, not a smart thing to say, not a sensitive thing to say. Did this guy deserve to be thrown off the air for a week? I don't think so. I think Americans are getting a wee bit too sensitive. Item. From The Sun, the most popular baby names this year have been revealed to be Muhammad, making the top 10 on the coveted list for the first time in the United States. According to Baby Center's list of 100 most popular baby names for girls and boys in America, Sophia is still at the top for girls, while Liam is the number one boy's name. My friends, there are more and more and more Muhammads in this country. Item from Breitbart. Representative Al Green, Democrat, Texas, blasted his own party's impeachment inquiry over the lack of diversity in the selection of witnesses, declaring, quote, it hurts his heart, and asking, quote, what subliminal message are we sending to the world when we have experts but not one person of color, unquote. Al Green is an anus, has been for a very, very long time. You can find him on YouTube going back 3 years screaming for Donald Trump to be impeached. The witnesses have something relevant to say, hopefully, to a case. Well, that being the case, if there are no witnesses of color, then there are no witnesses of color. Al, what are you expecting? We don't have any black witnesses or Hispanic witnesses. Go out and find some! Well, maybe to a schmuck like Al Green, that makes sense. Here on planet Earth, it's utterly ridiculous. It's Thursday, and it's real truth. We'll be right back.